Now this topic is a very interesting one because it's kinda late. It would have been relevant around the time Naruto was stuck in a dimension when he was fighting Jigen, but I'm just making a video, so you know what, it is what it is. Now this video is going to go over my belief that Naruto should technically be able to travel between dimensions. Now I'm not saying that he should be able to like travel to a dimension that he doesn't have any roots in, like how Sasuke is able to travel between dimensions willy-nilly. I'm saying that if Naruto is technically stuck in another dimension aside from the one he's originally from, he should be able to return home with the help of his toads. Now let me explain. Now we know that in Naruto you have this certain ability called reverse summoning, which the user is able to reverse summon something they summoned. Now the interesting thing about this technique is that you're not only able to reverse summon what you summon, but you're able to reverse summon with the thing you summoned. So it's pretty cool. Now the first time we saw this was with Sasuke versus Deidara, when Deidara used this explosive suicide bomb and basically destroyed an entire city area, and Sasuke had to escape by summoning Manda, which is the great snake, and going inside of its mouth using genjutsu and then reverse summoning back to the Ryuchi cave. Now Manda did die because he was late with reverse summoning Manda, so Manda did take damage from the attack itself, but he was able to reverse summon to Ryuchi cave, and then Suigetsu summoned him into the open field. So this technique is very useful when you're trying to evade an attack or run away from someone, which is the case for Kashin Koji when he reverse summoned using his toad to get away from Ishiki, or when Amado used the reverse summoning technique to go to the Idolith village because he had placed a sign there so that he could reverse summon the toad outside of the village. Now you might be wondering, okay cool, fine, they're able to reverse summon in the same dimension to different locations, but how does that translate to Naruto being able to travel between dimensions or travel from another dimension if he's stuck in that dimension? Now this makes sense because if you go back to Naruto and Sasuke versus Kaguya, Sasuke was able to summon his bird from the original dimension to Kaguya's dimension. So remember when they were stuck in the fire dimension and they were all falling, and Sasuke summoned his bird, his hawk, from the original dimension, because you know these animals, they're in a somewhat remote location in the original dimension, similar to the toads in Mount Miyaboku. So Sasuke was able to summon the hawk from another dimension to Kaguya's dimension and then release the hawk went back to the original dimension. So my theory here is that if Sasuke is able to summon the hawk from one dimension to another, he should technically be able to reverse summon inside that hawk back to the original dimension because it's the same thing. So you're just sending the hawk back to the original dimension or the original location which humans can travel to. So my theory is that if Jigen were to, like, let's say leave Naruto in the dimension as he planned to do in the Boruto episode, Naruto could have simply summoned a toad because Sasuke was able to summon a hawk from one dimension to the other, so Naruto should still be able to summon his toad to that dimension, and then he could reverse summon back to the original dimension, because that's what reverse summoning does. So even in a situation where they just defeated Ishiki and they were stuck in that dimension, they had to rely on Boruto's technique to bring them back to the original dimension. They could have simply went into a toad, Naruto could have summoned a toad, entered the toad's mouth, and then reverse summoned back to the original location. So this is simply a case of the writers not truly understanding these abilities or not utilizing them, because they do understand them because they use them with other characters, with Kashin Koji and Amado. But for some reason, Naruto, who is capable of doing the same thing, just decides not to or forgets that he can. So that's why I always say this. When people say that Naruto and Sasuke just couldn't use these abilities because they wouldn't work, it's not a case that they couldn't, but you have to be creative with how you use an ability. Like, an ability can be used against a character even though it's not as strong as the character, but it depends on how you use it and how creative you are with that technique. I think Naruto and Sasuke, they don't have the creativity they once had, especially Naruto is not that clever anymore to use these abilities in these situations to his benefit. But yeah, that's just my analysis on the situation. I do believe that Naruto should be able to reverse summon from another dimension if he's stuck in that dimension by simply summoning a toad and reverse summoning back to the original dimension. Now if you guys agree, let me know why in the comment section. If you disagree, let me know why in the comment section. If you like the video, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new content. But above all else, have a great day. Peace out.